back. So this one talk a little bit about this before we actually get into showing you how to do some stuff. So this module is Cloud Firestore. So it's a little bit about data models, data structures, data types. And the reason we're talking about this is because we're going to be adding data, we're talking about how to edit data, and we're talking about how to purge it. So Cloud Firestore data basically is broken down to documents, collections, and sub-collections. And that's what you see here. You have this right here is your collection. You can have a bunch of different collections. You could have different documents, and you can have sub-collections. And that's what this is right here. And you've seen that your document right here is kind of your reference. It's your primary key or your foreign key relationship. If you're using a relational database. So you can store large documents in a store. And a document is basically a unit of storage, lightweight record, identified by a name. You can have multiple documents with the same name, but no, well, you can't. I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. You can't have multiple documents with the same name. You might have the same value over here, but the same name will not allow that to happen, just like a regular database. So each file looks like a JSON file. Each file cannot be larger than 1 megabyte, which 1 megabyte is small, but it just can't. So collection is basically a container for documents. Documents, nothing else. No need to create or delete collections. Every document in Cloud Firestore is uniquely identified by its location with a unique database. You need to create a reference, lightweight object that just points to a location of your database. And that's this guy right here is your lightweight. Another data model is your sub-collection. And it's a collection that has documents that can contain sub-collections up to 100 plus levels deep. So Cloud Firestore data structures. Within a document can store nested documents, as we mentioned here, nested. So you have nested data in documents, which can be complex objects like arrays, maps within a document. So, we know what an array is. Maps could be store geographical, longitude, latitude, etc. Sub-collections create collections within documents for data that expands, and then obviously you could also have root level collections, which creates collections at the root level for your database. Now, some of the data types that you use typically, most used, the more popular ones are kind of just like a relational database is an integer. They use something called a text string. You've seen how we had, for example, if I come here, you see string. That would be almost equivalent to a varchar or a char. Boolean, which we're familiar with using. Date and time. You could use a floating point number and array. Those are the more popular data types that you're going to use. It could be on a more of a regular basis or from time to time. Some other ones that you can use that are not used that often are bytes, geographical point, so that would be like a longitude, latitude as well. Map, which would be a nested objects. Null, which is just nothing. Reference, it can hold a reference or a collection. Those are other data types that you can use, but are not as common as like integer, text, boolean, etc. Okay, so that will get us started. All right, guys. So now what we need to do is some of this I'm just going to copy and paste because I've already wrote the code. I don't want to have to write it again, but you guys don't have to write it first time. All right, so I'm going to go over my script here. And so what we're going to do here is, we need to load the data. So we have this function right here, and we need to get all the data. And I guess we could put it there. So we'll call this function called get load data. Oops. Which doesn't exist yet, but we're going to have to create it. And this function will load the data. So we're gonna build a function here that is at load data. So we'll call it function, load data, and then we'll use our employees reference, dot get. Then we'll call a function, and within that function, it'll be a query snapshot. And then we will do that right there. And we'll do load data, actually load table data. And then we'll do query snapshot. And got one too many there, and do that. And I messed up somewhere. Because you know what, I'm missing this here. It went too quick. All right, so that's one part there, our function. This next part is jQuery that calls the function. So actually it's another function. It's jQuery that, let's put it this way, a function for load table data. Okay. So this one here is a little much, so I think I'm going to copy and paste it because I've done this here before. So let's copy this guy here. I'm just going to put it over here. So typing again. This is a snapshot. I'll explain a little bit. So this table right here is just a function or a loop. We're building the table out. So we have our TR and TD tags, our F name, L name. So these references the values that we have over in script at the top, or more or less the values that we have over here somewhere, like F name, L name, so forth. So that references that so that it could call that. This will pull directly from the database. So these are also the fields in the database. So one thing is also make sure that your names are just like this. So let's say this is uppercase right here. It wouldn't pull it unless you change that to uppercase right here. So anyways, let me go across this because you're going to miss everything right there. So that part right there was cut off. So this is your table right here. This will pull back your information. So now when you load data, it calls this function right here, pulls a a snapshot, and boom. So let's actually see if it works. So let's save our data, our file here, and let's go out to our page. And I'm gonna exit out of this, and I'm gonna refresh the screen, and ta-da, we have data. So now I do see a problem here. For some reason, Claypool's data is undefined, and I guarantee it's something I messed up on. I bet I used something different. Oh, I see. Look, F name for that one, L name for that one, and I don't think I could change it. You see how it's F name, L name? So what we're going to do here is we're going to delete it, and we're going to add it again. We're going to do F name. You see what I talked about before? Chase. And then we need to do L name, so Claypool, so we're going to delete it. And we're going to add it again. And Claypool. Is it? I don't even know. It's fine. So let's go back here for a second. Let's see if that fixed it. See, that fixed it. So it's that simple. And I told you that could happen. So that right there allows us to pull our data back. So that's good. But I recommend that you guys create these functions. And I have it here. You can pause the video and go back and do that code. We need to make sure that we can that we can click on the edit button and it shows the data. So one thing that you want to do is you come down here somewhere. So get the data from the employee when you do the edit. You want to make sure that this information is right. So if you're creating your own environment with different data elements, data points, you're going to have to change this around. But for now, let's go ahead and click on the edit button. And what's important is when you click to edit, it grabs that information. It's just taking this data right here and grabbing it from there and putting it up there. So that's perfect. It works. So that's good. We want to be able to create a new employee and save changes. Right now it doesn't work because we don't have it coded. So that will be the, let's see how much time we're here. Yeah, so this video is about 10 minutes. So that'll be the next video. The next video I'll walk you through how to add some code to create a new employee. And then what we'll do here is, we'll go down here for a second. Where's it at? It's right here. So this is already put here. We're going to put the if and else condition. So what we're planning on doing is saying, hey, if it equals save changes, we're going to create it as new data. And if it doesn't, we're going to treat it as an edit. And if it's an edit, we're going to put a response down here. So we're going to have something down here. So if it's not considered saved, we're going to assume it's an edit, and then we're going to edit the value based off some measurements down here as well. So that is what we're going to do when we come back to the next video. We're going to talk about how to create a new employee, how to edit an existing employee, and we're also going to talk about how to delete data. So those are very important aspects that we want to cover. And this will pretty much sum a lot of this stuff up, okay? Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?